Body Studio online class. My name is Charlie and today I'm taking you through a 20 minutes full body workout. So we're going to go through a bit of everything. Just make sure you always follow your body, take little breaks whenever you need to, and if you're starting to feel unusual pain throughout your body, just make sure to always stop. Let's get started.
Alright, let's get our mat set up and let's come into our hands and our knees, finding our all fours position with our knees directly underneath our hips and our wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Keep a soft bend on those elbows and let's start with some cat-cows. Gently breathe in through the nose as we're looking up to the ceiling. Breathe out through the mouth as we pull the belly towards the ceiling. Breathing in, breathe out. Feeling the ribs are sliding towards our hips. Let's go for a couple more here. Now let's start to find our neutral spine. Just keep the shoulders sliding down and back, and let's tuck the toes underneath. Press the hips up, finding our first downward dog. Chest towards our thighs. Breathing in, lowering the knees halfway down, finding your reverse tabletop. Exhale, press back into your downward dog. Inhale, hold at your tabletop. Exhale, press back. Just keep our knees a couple centimeters away from the mat, keeping our shins parallel to the floor. Just a couple more. Alright, the last one. Now let's hold at our reverse tabletop. Just keep your knees away from the mat. Imagine you have a cup of tea on your lower back. Try not to spill it. Keeping the chin tucked in. Now let's lower the knees down, untuck our toes. On our next exhale, let's extend our right arm to the top of the mat and our left leg towards the end of the mat. On the next exhale, starting to lift your opposite arm and opposite leg off the mat. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Breathe out and breathe in. Just keeping those hips nice and squared towards the ceiling. Imagine that you're squeezing through the left underline. Keep the lower back nice and neutral. Just make sure we're not tilting towards one side of the body. We try to shift the weight back to the center of the body, the center of the mat. Keep our eyes looking down to our fingertips to the top of the mat. And let's hold it here nice and still. On your next inhale, let's take our hands and our legs towards the corner of the mat. Imagine you become a little clock. Exhale, shift the arms and legs back to center. Inhale out, exhale back to center. Just keeping our right hand in line with our right shoulder and your left ankle in line with your left hip. Keep a soft bend on that left elbow still. This one's really challenging towards our core. Keep yourself breathing. Last one, place the right hand down to the mat, pull the left knee towards our chest, and let's tuck our right toes underneath, slowly lifting your right knee just a couple centimeters away from the mat. Now, as we exhale, we extend our left leg nice and long. Inhale, pull the knee towards chest, just keeping the right side of the body nice and still. Last one, let's lower both knees down, pressing back, finding our child's pose. Release the tension that was holding in your wrist. You can flip the palms up to the ceiling and just gently rocking our hips from side to side. Big breath in through the nose and big breath out through the mouth. Next exhale, let's come back, finding our all fours. Again, let's do one more time on the other side. So left arm out and right leg extended. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, tapping down to the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Just try to minimize the movement throughout our spine here. The movement's coming out from our left shoulder and our right hip. Knee stays nice and still, toes pointed, chin tucked into our chest. Just focus on your breathing. Let's go for a couple more here. Now let's try to shift the body back to the center of the mat, to the center of the body. Keep a soft bend on that right elbow still, and let's hold. As we inhale again, we're taking the arms and legs out to the corner of the mat. Exhale, pull back to center. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull back. Just keeping that right leg parallel to the floor, the ankle in line with our hips, and your left wrist in line with the shoulder. I know this one's really hard. Just imagine yourself becoming a little clock again. Just got a couple more here. Last two. And the last one. Alright, plant your left hand down to the mat, tucking your left toes under, pulling the right knee towards chest. Exhale, hovering our left knee away from the mat, extend our right leg nice and long. Inhale, pull the knee towards chest. Exhale, extend. Just keeping that left knee hovered. Alright, let's go for 2 more. And the last one, lowering the knees down, pressing back, finding your child's pose again. Give your wrist a little roll, flip your palms up to the ceiling to release the tension that was holding in our wrist. Just another big breath in. And let's press ourselves up, finding our seated position. So you're sitting at the center of your mat, planting your feet down to the top of your mat, so the legs coming into a 45-degree bend. Hands behind our hamstring. Let's just take a big breath in and lower the body halfway down. Hold. As we inhale again, pull the body back to center using your core strength. Exhale, lower down, ribs towards our hips. Inhale, center. Just imagine that your feet glued on the mat and just keep a hip distance in between our knees. Legs parallel to each other. We'll try not to use the hand to pull the legs too much, just mainly using our core strength. Now coming into our little challenge, hands crossing on top of the shoulder, floating your right leg up first. And as we exhale, we're going to rotate the chest, left elbow towards right knee. Just imagine you're almost going for that crisscross. Let's go for a couple more. Exhale, pull. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lower down. Alright, now let's swap side. Right elbow towards our left knee and rotate through your torso, keeping the belly tucked in, and try not to hunch our back or arching through the lower back. Keeping the shoulder blades sliding towards each other, shoulders away from the ears. You can go as slow as you can to really challenge your body. Breathe out as you rotate, inhale as you extend. Alright, the last one, coming back to center. Now let's roll the body all the way down to the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. Just hugging your both knees towards chest, release any tension. Alright, now let's float in both legs up, finding our tabletop position. On your next exhale, let's finding our C curve. And just hold at the top, extend one leg over and swap side, finding your bicycle legs. So we go for 1, 2, and lower the head back down. So each rep, we curl up, extend your left leg, back to center, extend your right leg, back to center, roll the head down. To make this a little easy, you can always take one hand behind your head for extra support. And if you started to feel the neck and shoulders getting sore, feel free to just keep the head back down on your mat. Let's focusing on taking our spine nice and imprinted. The last one on each side. Let's roll the head down, feet onto the mat, dropping those knees from side to side. Now we come into our glute bridges now. So feet back onto the mat, arms down by the sides of the body. Exhale, press the hips up 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, roll the hips down, nice and slowly, pressing the shoulder blades into the mat. If you're starting to feel the neck and shoulders getting sore, that means we're lifting the hips a little too high. So try to drop the hips down slightly, sinking all of the weights down into our heels. Let's go for the last 3, last 2, and the last 1. Alright, floating our legs up tabletop again. So planting your hands just on the side of your knees. Inhale, lengthen the arms nice and long overhead. Extend our legs nice and long towards the top of the mat. Coming to our double leg extension. Just imagine you becoming a snow angel, sweep the arms around. If this is too much for your neck, just place one hand behind your head for extra support and just use the other arm to sweep around. Now let's come into our single leg glute bridge, lifting our right leg up to tabletop and starting with our single leg bridge here. Just keeping the right knee on top of our right hip. You can reach in the arms on top of the ceiling. Just try to balance your body as much as you can. Keeping the chin tucked in and try not to tilt from side to side. Now the last challenge, extend your right leg towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press the leg to center. Just for 2 more. And the last one. Alright, lower the hips all the way down. Big breath in. Now we're coming to our single leg stretch, so hands behind our calf, double pull the leg towards our chest as we inhale, swap leg. So you can place the hands anywhere, just not behind our knees. Alright, the last one. Take a quick break. Now we're floating our opposite leg up, finding our single leg bridge again. So sinking the weights down into our right heel. Left shin just parallel to the floor, arms down by the sides of the body. You can reach the arms to the ceiling to challenge. Let's go for another 3, 2, and let's hold at the top. Extend our left leg to the ceiling. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, sweep the legs up. Now let's go for 2 more. And the last one. Alright, feet back down to the mat. Alright, now let's slowly bring ourselves into our side lying position with our shins parallel to the front edge of the mat, lifting our bottom waist away from the mat and just keeping our hips stacked one on top of the other. Imagine your top leg is just mirroring your bottom leg. Slowly lift and slowly lower down. Alright, the last one. Let's start to extend our top leg forward, toes pointed, and as we exhale, sweep the top leg back and flex our foot. Bring the top leg in line with the rest of the body. This is your little break. Alright, let's go for a couple more, and now let's hold our leg in front of our body, flex the foot, turn the toes down, starting to tap the toes up and down. Try not to move our waistline up and down. I know this one's quite challenging. Let's go for the last 5, last 4, 3, 2, 1, and starting to do our little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, coming back to center. Hold your ankle towards your glutes, release the tension. Now let's bring our body into a straight line. Move yourself towards the front edge of the mat. Roll back and lifting both legs up, fingers tapping towards the ankle, keeping the heels tapping towards each other. Go as slow as you can. Just keeping using that right forearm supporting our body, belly strong. Keeping the ankles glued towards each other. Don't forget to roll back nice and slowly until the hips are stacked one on top of the other. And slowly roll back, tap your ankles. Exhale as we lift, inhale as we lower down. Let's go for one more here. Now let's come in to do a bit of arm series. So find your all fours and starting to lower the elbows down, pointing directly towards your knees. Arms parallel to each other, just focus on your breathing. Slowly press yourself up without moving the lower body. Now coming into a little challenge, let's go halfway down and sweep the body forward. Nose going over our fingertips, draw a big circle, coming back to center. Inhale halfway down, exhale, sweep forward and slowly coming back to all fours. Inhale halfway down, sweep. Exhale all the way back to center. Now if this is too much for you, just stick to our first level. Let's just go for another one. And pressing back, finding your child's pose here. Give your wrists a little roll, flip your palms up to the ceiling, rocking your hips from side to side. Alright, now let's come into the other side with our single leg lift. So find your side lying position again, free hand holding onto our hip and just starting to lifting and lowering our top leg up and down. While your right hand still on your hip, you can use your index and middle finger to gently press the belly down. Now let's go for a couple more, and we're starting to sweep the leg forward, keeping the toes pointed as we sweep forward. Exhale, flex the foot, legs in line with the rest of the body. Try not to move our spine, our back, our trunk. The movement's only coming out from our right hip here. Alright, challenge time. Turn the toes down, flex the foot, starting to tap the toes down towards the floor without sliding our top hip forward. Keeping the chin tucked in. I know this one's quite challenging. Let's go for 2 more. And just starting with our little pulses up and down. Inhale for 2, exhale for 2, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold your ankle towards your glutes for a little relief. Now let's find our side lying position with our forearms supporting our body, rolling back using the free hand to tap towards our ankles. Exhale, lift. Inhale, coming back. So this one really focuses on our core here and it's quite challenging. So just go as slow as you need and try to just bring the hips one on top of the other as you're rolling back to center. Let's just go for a couple more here. You've got it. Alright, the last one. Now let's find our half plank position with our knees on the mat, ankles crossing one on top of the other, knees, hips and the shoulders in a straight line. As we inhale, press our elbows towards the waistline, dropping the chest down. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press up. The whole body's going down and coming up as one. So keep your core switch on, keep those glutes squeezing towards each other. Go down as low as you can. And last one, let's press him back, finding our child's pose here again. Give your wrist a little roll if you need. Now let's come into the last workout of today. So we're finding ourselves in a high plank and just starting with our mountain climbers. Draw the knee towards our chest one at a time. And if you're looking for a challenge, taking your knee towards the opposite arm, starting to focus on our obliques here. Feel free to go slightly faster to challenge, otherwise go a little slower is always an option here. Let's just go for the last 4, 3, 2, and finding yourself at your downward facing dog. Chest towards our thighs, lowering your heels towards the mat one at a time. Just starting to walk it out. Now let's find ourselves down in our cross-leg position. Hands on top of our knees, so give our shoulders a couple roll up to the ceilings and a couple roll down to the floor. Taking your left forearm down to the mat, left arm going across the body and swap side. Starting to feel the side of the waist getting a nice stretch. Now one more on each side. And reach, breathing in, coming all the way back to center. Now together, let's take a big breath in. Arms reaching to the ceiling, connecting your palms and slide it down, finding your heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. Can't wait to see you at the studio.